color butterflies. This like seafoam looking, I added like just a tie. Hello everyone, I'm Brittany. Welcome back to my channel. I'm the maker behind Ginger Patch Designs, and for the past month or so, I've been playing with vintage fabrics. I say playing, I've been working, but it feels like playing because it's been so much fun. So I'm at the tail end of planning this unnamed launch. I keep calling it the Vintage Fabric Collection, but that's not what it's going to be called. Hopefully by the end of this video, I will announce what the actual collection's name is going to be, because there's been some online surveys and stuff and everyone's been chiming in, and it is literally neck and neck between these two that I can't make a decision. So hopefully by the end of the video, I'll let you know what it's going to be called. I've finished one type of bag, I've nearly finished the second type of bag, and then I've got about, I'd say about another hour to an hour and a half worth on the third type of bag, the slouchy. So I've been playing with some of the scraps. These are some quilted panels that I worked on this morning, and I forgot that I had these colored, really pretty zippers that go with them, and so I decided to make some like accessory pouches to go with some of them. Unfortunately, not all of the bags will have matching accessories because there's just not enough scraps. I just really didn't want to waste the scraps that were left over. And before I forget, do you remember this? I think everybody called it Holly Hobby. I'm not gonna lie, the first comment I saw about that, I was like, did she mean Hobby Lobby? Like, anyways, apparently not. That shows you how much I know, but I'm so glad I did not cut into this yet, because tell me what you think. Oh wait, let me do it side by side. Does it go? I think it goes. Not sure what style I'm gonna make with this yet. I was thinking just a jumbo quilted tote, just like an anything jumbo quilted tote. Very basic, but just big and quilted. This is part of the reason I love this chair so much, is like I can just hang stuff on the back of it. But this is kind of what I was thinking. So this was the one I made for me, and it turned out to be super big. The pocket is too small, but it ended up working for me because I'm so tall, and so the angle is actually perfect. But something just like big and square, maybe like a little shorter and narrower than this one, but this was kind of what I was thinking for the Holly Hobby fabric, and no pocket on the outside. I think I might put some pockets on the inside, but let me know in the comments what you think about that. Hi friends, something I don't share very much is about how all the crafty things and being a busy mom really makes my body feel. I have really been needing a more supportive chair that can double as both a sewing chair and an office chair for some time now. So I've been using the Cab Lady S1 from Cave Vibe for about a week now, and I love it. My favorite part of this chair is that when I'm sewing and I lean forward slightly, my lower back is still supported with the lumbar piece. And then when I'm video editing or doing administrative tasks, I feel like I can sink into the chair because of its contoured shape. I am 6 feet tall, so finding a chair that really works for me can be challenging, but the Cab Lady is actually perfect for any height. It has an adjustable swivel headrest and adjustable height armrest. I move these up for computer work and then down for sewing. I think the optional hook on the back of the chair is a nice touch for grabbing it to move or hanging a sweater, a purse, or in progress pieces. I can't be the only one who uses my chair for holding stacks of pre-cuts. The chair also has a hidden retractable footrest that allows you to lean back and stretch out for added comfort, and is also perfect for any height. You can also lock the chair from leaning back if you prefer. The Cab Lady comes in 5 different color choices so you can match the aesthetic of your workspace. And Cave Vibe also offers the Cab base for the fellas with more masculine vibes. I'm 37, friends, and so after years of lifting heavy weights, which I now struggle to do, outdoor chores, pregnancy, all the things I don't need to tell you about as a busy mom, now hours of sitting at doing either administrative tasks or sewing really takes a toll on my back. And if I'm not careful, sometimes I'm literally in pain even after stretching. So I've definitely learned that we have to take care of our bodies if we want to keep working. If you're ready to upgrade and continuing taking care of your body, make sure you click the link down in the description below for extra savings on your very own Cab Lady ergonomic chair. So I recently got this new Cab Lady chair from Cave Vibe and I absolutely love it. The discount code is down in the description, but since I got this new chair, I had to change my setup. Now, admittedly, this table is super tall, but I'm super tall. And so the other chair I had was tall enough for me to work at that table with my sewing machine. But the max height on this one is not quite enough for the height of that table. But again, a typical sewing table is lower. And so I moved my setup over here. I don't dislike it. I'm just getting used to it, but honestly, it does work much better to have the cutting station over here because I not only have plenty of room for the whole mat, I've got room to, I usually scoot it down further down there when my stuff is not in the way, and then I can actually unravel the bolts or the pieces of fabric on this side. And then if it's like a super big bolt, you know, I've got my little messy, oop, don't look at that, messy tray right there for it to fall on. So I completely forgot that I bought this like multi-pack of colored zippers when I was making my tech bag, my Black Lab applique tech bag. There was this perfect shade of purple that I wanted, but it was in this multi-pack. But now look, okay, so here's gonna be the one for the, I'm calling the watercolor butterflies, this like seafoam looking green. And I ended up having to go with pink interior on this one just because the purple interior that I used on the bag was okay, but it was actually like a thicker, it's not canvas, but it was just some kind of thicker, heavier material that I just didn't feel comfortable using on such a small piece. And so I went with something more lightweight. And then I was really surprised that this was in the vintage haul because this just screams like, I don't know, you know those bathing suits that people used to wear back in the day, women, and they were like, they were two-piece, but they were super high-waisted. I don't know. And then the top was like this like cup situation. I don't know how to describe it, but that's what this reminds me of. And so this is the absolute perfect blue to go with that one. And we're gonna do a pink interior on that one as well. And I like how the zipper pulls match the color of the zipper. And then on this one, we're gonna do a pink. And this is more of just like a classic vintage. It's more muted. And so this is like it's not even off-white or ivory. I guess you could call it off-white. It's not an ivory or a beige by any means. And then this one, my favorite, this was a pre-quilted, and I didn't have enough of this green left to do an interior on it. This is the same shape as the tech bag that I made, but I'm gonna do this. So these will be the zipper tabs to go with this off-white zipper. And then I'm just gonna do a solid pink interior because I don't have any more of that green. So for this vlog's Sew and Chat, I want to talk about pricing while I'm working on these zippers. My least favorite thing about zippers is putting on the zipper pulls because after a while when you're doing a bunch of them, they kind of just hurt my hands. Oh my gosh, I thought I had all this organized. So typically when I price stuff, I will do the whole, you know, you calculate all your materials, your labor, your overhead cost, etc. And so for this stuff, I want to be like pretty transparent. Like if I didn't actually purchase the materials, I'm not gonna charge the same amount for a bag that I didn't buy the materials for as I would for a bag that I did buy the materials for. And this varies per bag. Some of these bags, and even within like the same pattern, like let's say I had 4 of these, but like 2 of them have a purple interior and 2 of them have a pink, but I had to purchase the pink. Like it even varies that way a little bit because I would run out of certain fabrics. There's going to be differences in the prices within the same styles for that reason. For example, if I had to, I'm providing the snaps and the zippers and all that good stuff. So if you're looking at those and thinking, oh, those are actually kind of cheap, well, that's why I'm not charging for materials. But if a certain bag style does really well and I end up making more of it in the future with not vintage fabrics, like with the beautiful Hobby Lobby fabrics I've got back there that I haven't touched yet, that it's going to be more. And so I just wanted to be completely transparent about like why there's going to be differences in the prices of the bags. And the listings will also have biscuit. I cut that on the wrong end. The listings will have very detailed descriptions of like the interior was purchased, or it's not going to say it like that. The listings will be very transparent as far as like the interior and exterior is both vintage, or just the exterior and the straps are vintage, etc. Again, some people probably like don't care as long as the exterior is vintage, but I just want to make sure people know. It is almost 10 o'clock at night and I've been sewing like here and there like all day. We ended up having a little friend come over for a brief play date, and so it's just been kind of crazy. So here's what I've been able to get finished today. So all the scraps that I was making pouches, I couldn't decide whether I should go with the big pouch or like the keychain wallet size, but I figured people would rather have the bigger flat accessory pouch. So look at that pink zipper. I am loving these matching zippers. It's kind of dark in here because it's late, and I usually film like in front of my window right here, but it's really late. There's that off-white one. Oh my gosh, they're just so pretty. Oh my gosh, this is my favorite. This is my favorite. Look at it. Even though the interior is pink and on the bag the interior is purple, it's just colorful. It's so pretty. My goal for this week is to get the entire collection completely finished, like everything completely made, sewn, ready for pictures. And I definitely think that's going to happen because today is only Tuesday. Today's Tuesday night, and that still leaves me time to like edit these videos and stuff because next Wednesday we are going out of town on vacation. And so Monday and Tuesday I wanted everything done so that those 2 days I can just like take all the product photos and on Monday, and then on Tuesday like work on all the listings and get them scheduled for when we get back. Now I would have time to do some of this after we get back, but you know how it is like getting back from vacation and there's like somehow a bajillion things to do even if you leave the house clean. So I just didn't want to like leave myself in a panic, in a rush, having all this stuff to do when I get back with the business, because there'll be house things to do when we get back. So I do have a confession to make though. I cut into the Holly Hobby fabric. So, I'm not going to tell you what I'm doing yet because I really hope it turns out. I'm going out on a limb here. I don't feel like I made a cardinal mistake. I am trying some new measurements with the Holly Hobby fabric without having tried it on something else. But I don't feel like it's a cardinal mistake because I feel very, very strongly about these measurements because it's just a slight modification from something else I've already done. So I really hope it turns out. And if it does, and I can get it done in time, there might be some Holly Hobby in the drop. We shall see. I also today finished all of the adjustable either crossbody or shoulder bags, and you can do a tie or a bow. All of those are finished, all the ones that I had prepped, and so all that's left is finishing these, which I'm in the final stages. As you can tell, I am not going to do a bow on these simply because the fabric is scarce. It's just like what is left is scarce, and I just need a break from making bows. And the slouchy bags, which are nearly finished, I just have to finish the part where at the top, like I sew and fold the seam part together on the top. I don't love how the seam looks on the top. Let me show you. I don't like this. I don't like this visible seam right here. Like there's nothing wrong with it. It's pretty even. I just feel like it looks unfinished, and so that's why on this very first one I made, I added, you don't need the fuzz on there. I added like just a tie, and it's completely removable. Like you can take it off. That seems actually really, really good. I just didn't like it, and so that's the other thing I need to do is go back and cut. Hopefully there'll be enough scraps to just make these ties. This one's a little bit long. I need to make them shorter, especially for the smaller one. But if there's not enough scraps in the exterior fabric, I'll just have to go with the interior fabrics. There are still people commenting and messaging about names for this collection between the Keepsake collection and Granny Chic. It's not chic, it's chic. I made a little short and I called it Granny Chic. Like I really thought that's what it was. But the irony of me thinking that that's what it was and it's not chic is just hilarious to me. Like clearly I do not know fashion. But a very sweet friend that I've made here on social media messaged me and was like, I think it's chic, Brittany. And I was like, so anywho, I love Granny Chic and I love Keepsake as well. I think there's a place for both of them. So I think I'm going to give it till tomorrow and just wait and see, sleep on it and make a decision tomorrow. This is the benefit of following me on Instagram because by the time this comes out, I will have already announced it like on my Instagram. So if you follow me there, you already know what it is. Do you ever have a plan for something like a project or something and you order the materials and then you change your mind about what you want to do, but you've already spent money on the things? Cotton webbing. I thought I was going to use cotton webbing for the handles for some of the tote bags. And I probably definitely will use this at some point, but I feel like I wasted money for right now. I can't get this sticky thing off. I'm gonna have to cut that off. But anywho, I have some surprises up my sleeve and what do you need? Nothing. Then what are you doing? Are you trying to be quiet? Okay. Okay, I have all of the slouchy bags. There's a lot. And they just need their top stitching. If you hear pounding around my room, my daughter thinks it's funny to... I had to delete some clips because I didn't realize that my little microphone I was wearing was like stopped working. And so I was trying to show you that all I had left to do was I had press down all the seams around both sides, and I just needed to top stitch those, which I have since done. And now I just need to, I've cut out all of the little bow strips that I'm gonna put on the top here and attach. It was probably for the best that I had to delete some of those clips because my daughter was in here with me, which is not unusual, but she was just in one of those moods, like she didn't want to go do anything but just pester the you-know-what out of me. And for 2 hours, like all I heard was like fart noises and heard like being in character like she was on the Bluey show. And speaking of which, did you hear the door? Are you coming in here to play your banjo? So friends, today is Friday evening actually, and I'm gonna finish the ties for the slouchy bags. And once those are finished, I can do that tonight. Like I'll sew them and then turn them right side out and press them when I'm out there with my daughter later this evening. And then all of the bags that have been planned will be done, and then I'll just have like tomorrow morning maybe to work on the something extra special. And then next week I will be taking pictures and getting the listings ready before we go out of town on vacation. I'm really proud of myself that I've stuck to this timeline. And also the keepsake collection, that's what we settled on because that's what everybody loved the most. The keepsake collection is actually going to go live on July the 3rd. I was really hesitant to do it like on the holiday week, but I'm ready, like it's ready to go live, and I think a lot of people will be off work that day anyways, and it might work out better. And just know that like I won't be back from being out of town with my family until that weekend, and so orders won't ship out until the following week. But yeah, you'll see one more video on launch day of like me taking pictures, and I'm going to show like literally every type of bag and pattern that's going to be in the launch and all the features of them and everything. I'm super excited about this. There's been so much like hype and interest in the patterns and the like vintage fabrics and the vibes. And so I'm like really excited for some of y'all to get your hands on some of these totes and let me know what you think. So friends, I'm gonna end this here, and I will see you in just a few days for launch day where we can see all the things together. If you will just give this video a like and subscribe so other crafty babes like you can find it. And if you haven't joined the channel memberships yet, make sure you check that out. I have one full video posted. It's going to be split between like business things and market things, and if you want to let me know some things you want to see in that group, I'd be happy to explore those as well. I will see you soon, friends. Bye.